Since reaching a top of $65,000 in November 2021, a number of other cryptocurrencies, including Bitcoin, have experienced repeated price drops. The price of Bitcoin dropped below $20,000 for the second time in June 2022. This large fluctuation is a good example of what makes cryptocurrencies so volatile, and it serves as a helpful reminder to investors. However, the year 2022 marked a turning point for Bitcoin and other cryptocurrencies as they started to significantly influence financial institutions, culture, pop culture, business, and other mainstream sectors. You've found the ideal video if you're looking for an introduction to Bitcoin and how it works. We'll discuss the fundamentals, such as what Bitcoin is, where it comes from, and how to purchase it, as well as a number of other issues, such as its value, legality, and potential uses. Before starting, don't forget to like and subscribe to our channel for more future updates. So let's start. A quick backstory. In 2009, a person or group that went by the nickname Satoshi Nakamoto established the cryptocurrency Bitcoin. His stated goal was to create a new electronic monetary system, with no server or central authority. In 2011, Nakamoto distributed the source code in the domain names to other members of the Bitcoin community after creating the concept and the technology, and then vanished. What is Bitcoin? Without any type of centralized management, bank supervision, or governmental control, Bitcoin functions as a digital currency. Instead, it makes use of peer-to-peer software and cryptography. A public ledger that contains copies of every Bitcoin transaction is maintained on servers all over the world. Anyone with an extra computer can install one of these servers, known as a node. These nodes cryptographically concur on who is in possession of whose coins rather than relying on a single source of confidence, like a bank. Every transaction is broadcast publicly to the network and shared across nodes. About every 10 minutes, miners compile all of these transactions into a block, which is then permanently added to the blockchain. Similar to how you would keep traditional money in a physical wallet, virtual currencies are kept in digital wallets and can be accessed using client software or a number of internet and hardware solutions. A milli is equal to 1,000th of a Bitcoin, and a Satoshi is equal to 100 millionth of a Bitcoin. There are now 7 decimal places in which a Bitcoin can be divided. In reality, there are neither Bitcoins nor wallets. Rather, the ownership of the currency is agreed upon by the entire network. A private key is used during a transaction to show the network who is the rightful owner of the money. The idea of a brain wallet allows one to access or utilize virtual currency by simply remembering their private key. Can Bitcoin be converted to cash? Bitcoin may be converted into cash, just like any other asset. Thanks to the large range of cryptocurrency exchanges that are now accessible online, even tiny businesses can now take Bitcoin. Even making transactions in person or via any messaging service is possible. There isn't a formal way to convert money built into Bitcoin. Nothing essentially valuable underpins the Bitcoin network. This is true for many of them, and the US dollar and the British pound are two of the most stable national currencies in existence today. What is the purpose of Bitcoin? In order to facilitate online money transfers, Bitcoin was created. The digital currency was intended to provide an alternative payment method that would operate without centralized control but otherwise function similarly to regular currencies. Are Bitcoins safe? The cryptography employed by Bitcoin is based on the SHA-256 algorithm developed by the U.S. National Security Agency. It is almost impossible to crack this, which is thought to be somewhere between 1078 and 1082, because there are more potential private keys that would need to be examined than there are atoms in the universe. Despite several well-publicized incidents of Bitcoin exchanges being hacked and having money taken, these businesses virtually always preserve the digital currency for the benefit of their users. Instead than the Bitcoin network being compromised in these cases, it was the website. Theoretically, if an attacker acquired control over more than half of the active Bitcoin nodes, they could introduce a consensus into the blockchain claiming ownership of all Bitcoin. However, as the number of nodes rises, this becomes less practical. The lack of centralized control over Bitcoin is a significant problem. Therefore, anyone making an error with a transaction on their wallet is powerless. If you accidentally send Bitcoins to the wrong person or lose your password, there is no one to turn to. Naturally, if effective quantum computing ever becomes a reality, it might all be destroyed. Quantum computers may be able to perform many of the mathematical operations necessary for cryptography in just a few hundredths of a second since they function very differently from ordinary computers. What is Bitcoin mining? The creation of new money and maintenance of the Bitcoin network are both accomplished through mining. Every transaction is broadcast in the open on the network, and miners combine large groups of transactions into blocks by performing an extremely complex to generate but very simple to verify cryptographic calculation. When the first miner to solve the next block broadcasts it to the network and it is verified to be accurate, the blockchain is updated. After that, the miner receives a certain amount of newly created Bitcoin as payment. The Bitcoin program has a hard maximum of 21 million coins. Nothing more than that will ever exist. All the coins will be in use by the year 2140. The algorithm roughly doubles the difficulty of mining Bitcoin every 4 years by reducing the size of payments. When Bitcoin was first developed, even a basic computer could essentially mine a coin quickly. Due to a fluctuating Bitcoin price, mining can occasionally become more expensive than it is worth because it now requires rooms full of complex machinery, including top-tier graphics cards that are skilled at processing the computations. As an incentive for miners, who also choose which transactions to aggregate into a block, the sender adds fees of varying amounts. Even after all coins have been produced, these fees will still serve as a mining incentive. This is required since it maintains the infrastructure of the Bitcoin network. What determines the value of a Bitcoin? The final determinant of a Bitcoin's value is what people are willing to pay for it. This is similar to how stock prices are determined. Since Satoshi Nakamoto's protocol only permits the creation of 21 million Bitcoins, and over 19 million have already been created, there is a limited supply, comparable to that of gold and other precious metals, but no real inherent value. Numerous mathematical and economic theories provide justification for Nakamoto's choice of the number 21 million. This sets Bitcoin apart from stocks, which frequently have a connection to a company's actual or potential earnings. Value is completely uncertain in the absence of a government or other centralized institution in charge of managing supply. Don't take out a mortgage on your house to purchase Bitcoin. This price discovery process, which is the key factor in price volatility, also promotes speculation and manipulation, which is why there has been much discussion about tulips and bubbles. Bitcoin has made Satoshi Nakamoto a multi-billionaire, at least on paper. As a result, many investors, pioneering Bitcoin miners, and innovators in technology have become billionaires. The Winklevoss twins reportedly became well-known billionaires by investing a $65 million Facebook dividend into a venture capital fund that placed early Bitcoin wagers, according to Fortune. What can I do with Bitcoin? Bitcoin can be used to make purchases in a select places, but many people choose to hold onto them as they would other long-term investments. The price volatility of Bitcoin makes daily purchases difficult, but a few crypto-enabled debit and credit cards are starting to change that. Is all of this legal? Briefly, yes, providing you don't utilize it for illegal activities for the time being. For instance, the Silk Road dark web market, which sold drugs and other illegal products and services, was shut down by the FBI in 2013 after it would only accept Bitcoin. Since then, Bitcoin has mostly evaded regulation and legal action in the US, though it is currently the focus of more thorough study as it attracts institutional investors' attention on a larger scale. Even if buying and selling Bitcoin is legal, many aspects of the industry, like investor tax issues, are still unregulated and could one day face legal or regulatory action. What are the risks? Leaving legal and regulatory concerns aside, Bitcoin is a very risky currency and investment. When you get up, you usually know very well what a dollar will buy. That the value of a Bitcoin can change significantly from day to day, and even from hour to hour. It is difficult, but not impossible, to connect Bitcoin transactions to particular individuals. Even though there are now many more investors holding cryptocurrencies, forensic techniques have made it easier to follow transactions and identify specific individuals' digital fingerprints across several blockchains. The federal government has made it apparent that it wants to take action against crypto-related criminality in light of several high-profile breaches that have been publicly linked to alleged conspirators. Thus, pseudonymous is a more appropriate adjective to describe cryptocurrencies than anonymous. Are there other cryptocurrencies? Yes. There are many of them, and more keep popping up. In addition to Bitcoin, which is the original creator of them all, other well-known alternative currencies include Ether, Sol, and ADA. The original cryptocurrency, Bitcoin, still dominates the market in terms of usage and economic value despite the appearance of hundreds of competitors. None of them have a matching market cap and valuation as of yet. This is it for today's video. What do you think of our video? Feel free to share your thoughts in the comment section below. Don't forget to like and subscribe to our channel for more future updates. Thanks for watching.